Have you ever felt that you're being left behind in a certain project maybe you plan to do with your family members? Have you ever felt that in some times in life you feel like you're slagging behind, you're a bit slow? Then you're not slow. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the internet, here are some of the 5 facts that will definitely tell you that you are not slow. You'll find some men think that to some extent they are slow catchers or they take a long time to grasp some issues. No, it's not that they're slow. They're calculative. You've heard of that saying where people say that better safe than sorry, better slow but sure. Like a tortoise might be slow, but at the end of the day, seldom falls. It must achieve its target. Then, let's dive right into it. My name is Kunguru87 and welcome to the Surviving Men series. So, psychology of men who succeed late in life. Succeeding doesn't mean that there's a time frame that you've been given. You've seen some people from the age of 1 or from the age of maybe 18 to 30. They haven't achieved anything much that is tangible, that is credible, that can be spoken about in groups or even in conferences. But let me tell you something. The point number 1 is that these people like emphasizing too much on something. They like taking their time. So without taking much of your time, we go to point number 1. It's they're late starters and they're deeper builders. There's some people who like to think deep into situations. They don't like rushing or making irrational decisions. Remember, they don't make their decisions based on emotions. They take their time. For example, you tell them or you come to them with a particular problem or issue. They'll tell you, let me think about it. Let me sleep over it. Give me at least 2 or 3 days. Give me like the whole of today. Then I'll get back to you with a very definite answer instead of guessing. These people, it doesn't mean they're slow. Necessarily doesn't mean that this individual is slow. Those men are not slow. It's just that they take a lot of time before they give you an instant answer so that they don't have to say, oh, I forgot to tell you ABCD. Another point number 2 is that failure has become part of making them fuel or being a fuel to make something very distinctive or make a very decision that it will never come to bite them back. In short, people say that failure becomes their fuel. You'll find that these kind of people, they've messed before, they've fallen down many a times, they've messed a couple of times to an extent that it is time they learn from their mistakes. You've heard of someone say that when you're starting next time, you won't be starting from scratch. When you're starting next time, you'll be starting from experience. So such kind of people who you tend to think that they're late people in how they start their issues, it's not that they're late, no. It is that they like articulating an issue. They learn from, okay, last time this is where I failed. This time round, I don't want to make the same mistake. So their failures become their fuel. Many a times they take a long time to study their mistakes. Have you ever had someone telling you that, how come you never learned from your previous mistake? That will be the dumbest question someone has ever been asked. But many a times, you're being told that learn from someone else's mistake or even learn from your mistake. Point number 3. You have also heard for these people, they find their path through self-discovery and not pressure. Some men do not work, even if you come, and there's some men who do not work well under pressure. But this kind of people can work well under pressure, no matter the kind of pressure. You've heard someone tell you that I have a deadline to beat by tomorrow. Those people are so calmly, they're like, what's the pressure for? At the end of the day, they'll have attained whatever job requirement, whatever issues we wanted them to solve. Maybe it's a board meeting, they're supposed to prepare some minutes, they're supposed to have done some researches. They're kind of men who do not even, pressure is nothing to them. They've been there, they've been to the circus, they've seen all the magic that happens in that particular circus, and they can tell you for free that, you know what, this is as easy as ABCD. Some men like articulating issues in a manner that you find them like, hey, Kwani, how come are you so relaxed? How come you're not scared of the repercussions? It's because, 1, remember point number 1 I told you, these people, they like working in their own pace. They like articulating an issue instead of giving you an answer so quickly. Point number 2, they've already made this mistake, so they've already learned from their mistakes. So when they're coming to deal with this point number 3, where they find their path through discovery and not pressure, there's nothing that is pushing them. Like, if it's working with deadlines, they've done it before. You've seen people writing on their CVs with applying for their job for some jobs. They've said that I can work with little or no supervision and I can work under pressure. It's because pressure has been part of them since they started the employment. They fell into the employment industry. These people have been through thick and thin. They've been to hell and back. They've failed. They've stood up again, dust off all the dust from their bodies and said, you know what, next time you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from a certain point. These people, they don't even work under financial pressure or social pressure. You've heard of someone tell you, hey, how come we're not in this particular social site? And they're like, what's the need? What's the rush for? Those sites are there. You've heard of some people even like, how come you've never seen this particular movie? Those people are so relaxed, like, I'll watch it. The movie is there. It's not like a competition to them, like who's going to watch what, who's going to join this particular social media platform or not. For them, they like planning, they like working comfortably with no pressure. Whether they bring that pressure to what extent, they're like, they've seen it all. They've been to that particular clubbing, they've been to that particular job preference, they've opened those businesses, and they know whatever happens behind the curtains. Point number 5 is that late success is not delay, it's foundation. You know, successful people like working in a certain way or in a certain manner. You've seen people plan their day. For example, I do tell most of my friends, if you do not have a plan for the week that is coming, you'll end up doing things rationally. You'll end up making mistakes that you could have avoided. Those people, they know very well they're supposed to report at their job station at 8:30. You'll find them leaving the house at 8. Maybe they're leaving a stone throw away, but can you imagine if you had reached your workstation at 7? So you have 1.5 hours to sit down, prepare, check your notes, cross the T's and dot the I's. Maybe you've forgotten something at home, you can still send a rider to go and bring it up. Maybe you're not even well prepared, but still you have 1.5 hours to compare your notes and do ABCD. It's your business. Imagine if most of the business people open at 8 a.m. and you've opened yours at 7 a.m. Maybe for the first 1 month, 2 months, no one will recognize or even identify you. But once someone has said, oh, by the go to place A, B, and C, you'll find that it is already open because they are sure this individual wakes up very early. And people who work or who observe or who attain success late, it's not because they are slow people. They like working in a certain manner, in a certain way, so that they can achieve the result that they achieve. And many times, the people who do their things hurriedly can never achieve the result these people have achieved, because these people took their time, they learned from their mistakes, they went to do their research so well, they can work under any kind of pressure. By the time they're giving you their results, is something that is rock solid. For example, you've heard of those people who've gone to court cases and maybe they're in the team of the defense, and for some instant they didn't have any defense mechanism, or maybe it was their last shot in this particular court case. If most of the times, if the defense or the prosecution is not well accomplished or well comped their notes, they're likely to lose a certain case. You've heard of people saying we're going for the last cross-examination. Usually you have to close it with a punch. You take your time before you shot or you shoot your last bullet. You've seen of that thing, people say that I have got only one last bullet left in my chamber. You cannot even afford to mess around with that particular bullet. So these people who are successful in most of their lifetime, in most of the things they do in life, they take the time. They make sure that whatever I'm going to say, whatever I'm going to present, whatever I'm going to write off, whatever I'm going to type has got no errors, and the other party in the other side will accept it or receive this information with that most gratitude and be like, wow, you really took your time to do this particular kind of research. So, call for action. What am I saying? Keep building, keep working in your pace. There's no hurry in whatever you're doing. If someone else has achieved to do theirs in 10 days, in 1 day, that's them. Do your part. Better safe than sorry. You're not in a competition with anyone, ladies and gentlemen, people of the internet. Personally, I like someone who does their work very soon. Recently, I was another friend of mine and we were given a task to handle. They managed to do it within a day. I managed to do mine within 3 days. Then we were told, why did you take 3 days and why did this person take 1 day? I was actually labeled as someone who's slow, and I told them I better be slow but sure, rather than I do something quickly, then you start labeling me as, why did you do this particular kind of job so quickly? What hurry were you in? Yes, there's a deadline to be met, but provided there's a deadline to be met and I'm about to meet that particular deadline, I don't see the harm in doing it the way I'm doing it in my way. So call for action is that keep doing whatever you're doing, keep building, keep focusing, do not rush. There's no rush in anywhere where you're trying to go and beat a certain target. At the end of the day, if you're going to bring results, the results must be rock solid. Remember, you're working from experience. Your mistakes are going to fuel you so that you don't repeat the same mistake twice again. You're working with your own time and pace. You're not someone who's working to please the other individuals. Keep on working, keep on grinding, and check you out in the next one. Make sure you watch this next particular video. Peace.